News out of the Middle East. Iran is trying to put a noose around Israel's neck. Well, Israel's strategic affairs minister says Iran's proxies in Lebanon, Syria, and Gaza are behind the recent attacks against the Jewish state.
Israel is pushing back. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has also walked back his recent firing of the defense minister in an effort to unite the country. Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem.
In his effort to bolster security and confidence, Netanyahu reinstated Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, whom he fired when Gallant publicly opposed the ruling coalition's judicial reforms.
There were disagreements between us, even severe disagreements on some issues. But I decided to leave the disagreements behind us. Gallant remains in his position, and we will continue to work together for the security of the citizens of Israel.
Following rocket attacks on several fronts, Netanyahu emphasized Israel is pushing back.
I can't tell you everything we do, but we do a lot. In Syria, we acted against Iranian targets and against targets of the Syrian regime. The Assad regime already knows the price that he paid is only the beginning.
Iran is essentially trying to put a noose around Israel's neck. You can add the Houthis in Yemen to that list as well. They want to surround Israel with a noose and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And, you know, we're not going to go gently into that good night.
Former Israeli ambassador to the U.S. and now strategic affairs minister for the Netanyahu government tells CBN News Iran's fingerprints are all over these regional threats.
We're going to stand and defend ourselves against Iran and its proxies. And that's what we did a couple days ago. And the Prime Minister said that the response was going to be serious. And I don't think the response just ended. I think it's a constant effort to make sure that Iran does not entrench itself in Syria, that Iran is not building sophisticated weaponry in Lebanon, and that we are fighting all the time against Iran and its proxies.
Opposition leader Yair Lapid says after attending a security briefing Sunday with Netanyahu, he left more worried than he went in. Lapid has also played a role in protest against the judicial reform proposals.
Do you see that Israel's enemies are getting closer? And do you also feel that maybe they sense some weakness in Israel because of all the demonstrations that have literally gone for several months?
They're dead wrong. Israel has a citizens' army, and Israel, you can count on the people of Israel that they're going to put these disagreements aside, and when they are threatened, when the lives of their families are threatened, we're not fighting wars thousands of miles away in foreign countries. We're fighting to protect our homeland, to protect our families.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, I hope that Israel unites to face this threat because the threat is quite serious. Iran has its own internal problems, but when they look at Israel and the politics right there right now, they're going, well, let's take advantage of their division and let's take advantage of our opportunity to marshal forces and attack Israel. In doing that, they actually solidify their own home base. If there's a common enemy, if you can incite some kind of conflict, then if you're an authoritarian government, it actually ensures that you stay in power. We need to realize a house divided cannot stand. And whether that's Israel or right here at home in the United States of America, if we remain divided, we're not going to be able to stand. If we look at the opposition as somehow an evil enemy that has to be wiped out, well, we've got the wrong idea. We need to all come together and say, we're one nation, indivisible, under God, with liberty and justice for all. If we can do that and not have it aspirational, but be real about it, then we'll be able to stand.